Okay, so we have our basic playback. So what we're going to do now is show you a little bit easier way to add files and a few manipulations you can do to control, and then we'll get into some more extreme editing that can be done in the third video. So for this, let's concern first with some other ways of opening files or ways of doing that remotely. And so I mentioned this key control so that the space bar is 32, but other keys have different ASCII numbers. 0 is 111. And so let's make use of that. We can edit our select and change it to 111 and 32. So then if it matches 111, it'll bang, and I can run that to the open message. And if it's spacebar, it's going to bang, and that's going to go to the toggle. So same controls I had before, but now if I type an O, that's going to open the file dialog box, and I can choose something else in my audio folder. And let's go back to, well, let's do, it's a long one. And we'll stop that. So that's some basic control. Another way that I can open files is with an object called drop file. And I'm going to put that drop file, let's type it in. Drop file creates a box that you can drag files from the Finder and drop them into your patch. So go over here into attributes, and right now it is the drop file. Appearance has no, let's see, let me go through. Border size, that's what I'm looking for, and border color. So we can make this, right now if I lock the patch, it's just a little gray, kind of rounded rectangle. Come back into it, and I can make the border size a little thicker, maybe 4. I don't have to worry about the roundness, but let's make the color something easier to see, like red or green. There we go. So that shows up more. So what does drop file do? If I bring a file into it, it's going to output the path name of the file. And that could be sent prepend. We can put the word open in front of whatever file we have and run this down to sfPlay. And it's going to work. I'm going to go back over here to my folder, and I'm going to get, let's have a little nightingale. Drop it in and hit spacebar. Go back to this, find something like guitar. So I was playing two things at once. There's the guitar. Hit the spacebar with the right program open. Or the glass breaking. All right. So that's going to be some nice ways of opening things up. I can drag and drop from the Finder. If I don't use the drop file and I drag and drop from the Finder, I'm going to end up with, I got to unlock the patch. A different object. This is a playlist. And this is a better way of dealing with things graphically, but I want to be able to talk about some of the controls and manipulations. So we're going to not do this yet. So I've opened things up. Now I can control some sound file playback with some messages. So I'm going to put them over, here. So I can have a message that's called loop. And if I put a $1 in the message object, I can hook up a toggle. I can run this message over. So I can turn the loop on. I don't know what I have. So I have to turn it off now, or I could go with one of the drum patterns. Seamless looping. And if I turn the loop off, it'll stop. So that's one easy message. Another one that I could use would be speed. So let's have a message, speed, $1. And without any other modification, this is going to be like very speed playback. If I slow it down, the pitch will also drop. If I speed it up, the pitch will go up. Let's hook up a floating point operator because this is looking for a ratio. And we hook speed into sfPlay. We can turn looping on and start it. So the 1 is 100%, and then we'll play back. I can slow it down to half. And the pitch drops down an octave. And another, and it's twice as slow, 4 times as slow as the original. I can do it in real time. So it responds right away. And the other thing I can do really easily is control start and stop points, or loop points if I'm looping. If I use seek, so I could add in a seek message and give it a place, like say if I only wanted to play the first half second, 0 milliseconds to 500 milliseconds. So seek is working in milliseconds. And it's going to update even before I start. If I click on it, and it's actually going to start playing right at that point. And it's looping. And I can speed up and slow down. You notice if I hit the space bar at that point, it turned on the toggle which played the full file. But if I hit the C, So sfPlay is actually storing cues that you can use. Now, another way you can change this, because this doesn't let you move around at all with it. So let's uh, change this a little bit. Let's create two integers, number boxes, and send those to a POC object, P-A-K. P-A-C-K we've dealt with. Creates a list, and when it gets the leftmost inlet, it outputs the list. POC will output the list anytime any element changes. So I need a 2-item list. And then it's going to make use of the prepend object again, and that's going to be seek. And seek into sfPlay. And so now I do what I did before, 500 milliseconds. And as soon as I updated the endpoint, which is the right inlet, it output prepended the seek, and you can see that all the inlets are hot.